What's going on, y'all? It's Gum TCG here, and I'm back with another Market Watch Monday. That's right. We are going to jump into today's Market Watch by looking at the OP06 pre-release prices. Now, I will say, disclaimer, pre-release prices are ridiculous, and that's kind of what I want to talk about mainly in this video while we go over this stuff. If you do really want your cards, I'm not going to say not to buy them at whatever price you're willing to spend for them. However, some of these prices are a little ridiculous and out of hand. And in my recommendation, not a financial advisor, not a financial advice, but I would typically wait until after actual release, which is going to be this Friday, the 15th, maybe even a week after that, for prices to actually start going down. Of course, we look at TCG Player here, and on TCG Player, not everybody has access to list until the actual release day. So once that happens, usually the market becomes flooded with different vendors trying to beat out the competition by lowering the price, and it just undercut until it finally reaches a stable price point that they don't really want to undercut anymore. But with that being said, that is my recommendation, is to wait a little bit. If you are wanting to buy singles, if you are a pack ripper and you like to open your packs, I'm sure you've already got boxes on the way. However, I wouldn't pay this price either. Of course, I think that's a little bit high. I always try to recommend pre-ordering your product or supporting your LGS if you can get it for a good price. Sometimes that's not the case, but yeah, some of these prices are a little ridiculous, and I feel like it always is with the One Piece card game on pre-release, and even sometimes not in pre-release, but pre-release it's usually a little ridiculous. So my recommendation is, if you pull any cards that you don't want, and you know people that want them that will pay pre-release prices, sell them. You'll probably make more than you will if you hold it, or you could probably trade for something you're looking for, but if not, I never try to recommend buying at pre-release prices, just because I know that those prices will dip down. So with that being said, I want to jump into this, but before we get into that, I want to shout out Dueling Guard. If you haven't heard of Dueling Guard, they're the best TCG accessory company on the market. They make the highest quality TCG accessories, such as anime-inspired binders, deck boxes, and playmats. And if you haven't checked them out before, man, you are missing out. They make the best quality stuff. I use them for all my deck boxes, playmats, everything like that. And if you want to go check them out, there's a link in my description where you can use code GumGumTCG for a discount at checkout. All right, y'all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. So first off, I want to look at pack box prices, case prices, stuff like that. So like I said, I always try to say or recommend pre-ordering in advance. If you look here on the graph, November 16th looks like the first time an order was placed for this set for a case, and that person walked away paying $1,300 before taxes and shipping. That's pretty good. I would say that's not awful. That's about 110, give or take, a box, which isn't too bad. Usually if you find it on a good retailer's website, you can get it for like 90, sometimes even 80 if you're really, really lucky. But I'd say 90 to 100 is supposed to be MSRP. So this, if you're buying in a case, I'd say about 12 to 1300 is about average. But you can see it slowly went up and up and up. And even for that first month of listing, I mean, it was only 1300 if you got in on this. And this wasn't even 6 months ago. This was, 3 months ago? 4 months ago? Yeah, not even that long. But then you see it started to spike at the end of December. New Year's about to pop around. New Year hits, we're at 1900. Then we're at almost 21. Then we're at 22. Then we're at 23. Then we're at 2450. And at the end of January, and now we're at 25 in the beginning of February, and then all the way to here, where cases now lowest listings are $2,800, and that is way too much money. I mean, if you think about that, that makes these boxes about $250 a piece, I'd say, give or take. Maybe even a little more than that. Like, that's just, maybe not 250, but I mean over 200 a piece, and that's just kind of crazy to me. I would not recommend buying boxes at that price, or cases at that price. In a case, you are guaranteed multiple alt leaders, multiple alts, a couple SPs, maybe even this disgusting treasure rare that I want to talk about here in a minute. But even then, the double packs, I mean, for $230, you get, I believe it's 16 packs, because you get 8 of these. They all have 2 packs in them and a Dawn pack in them. So for $230, you're paying for 16 packs. That's more than $12 a pack. That's absolutely insane. Um, yeah, I think that's a little ridiculous. You know, you do get those extra Dawn, but typically those Dawn aren't more than $2 or $3 a piece after prices settle. And then we look at box prices right around $2.30 for your lowest verified listing that's not a Japanese. Be wary of this if you buy on TCG Player. Always look and make sure your box is not a Japanese booster box and you are buying an English version. But yeah, I mean, you look back in, we can go further back. In September, these were listed for $118. They even dipped down a little bit, down in December, like $114. That's not awful. Like, I mean, that's not a horrible price at all. Like, but then you look like at the end of January, the height was $245 a box, and now we're back down to $230 a box. That's just outrageous pricing, and it's to be expected, you know, with the limited production that One Piece has right now. We are supposed to be getting more production of sets, I believe 5 through 8 or 5 through 9. If I remember hearing that correctly, there's this rumor going around from a gaming convention that happened the other weekend where they talked about product distribution and stuff like that, and we are getting reprints for those sets. Not older sets, but these newer sets, they are going to wrap up production. So, yeah, my advice for you is if you have not gotten sealed product of this, if you cannot get a box for around $120, $130, I would not recommend buying it. I believe that it's just way too much money, and you're not getting enough bang for your buck. You could probably get every single card that you're looking for out of this set, if you're looking for a specific color or something, for way less than that. I know thrill of opening a box is a lot of fun. I do enjoy doing it myself. Like I said, I do buy boxes and packs. I do buy sealed product, but I always pre-order and I try to pay $100 or less a box. So that's my advice. Try to get in early. Try to find those websites and try to find those retailers that are $90 to $100 a box, and order really far in advance. I know it sucks waiting, but if you want to pay lower prices, that's really what you have to do. And hopefully that won't be a thing too much longer. We will start to see these reprints. But with all that out of the way, talking about these packs, boxes, and stuff like that, like I said, my recommendation, don't buy these. Just wait, man. Go to your Walmart, your Target, maybe even your LGS. Like, if they're a nice enough store and they're good, they don't want to price gouge. You could get some for a decent price, but you never know. Anyway, the big hit out of this set is the Manga Zoro, and then of course this Nami Treasure Rare is what they're calling it. And first off, I want to say this Nami isn't even the Searcher Nami, it's the Dawn attached Nami. So this one isn't very much, it's not very played. And oh my, this card, can I get a bigger image of it? I can't. This card is something else, man. Like, I wish it did not look like this. It actually does not look great. Like, the artist of this, like, I'm sure they're a fantastic artist and that this was like their direction to draw in this style, but man, it does not look good. And that seems to be the whole community's interpretation of this card, is it does not look good. However, there are sold listings for this card for as high as $600. Some collectors really like their cards, their high-end cards, their Namis, stuff like that. So my advice is this card is not worth that much. I know that they're like 2 a case, I think I heard, 1 to 2 a case, which does make them valuable. But I mean, you know what else was 1 to 2 a case? Was the Oda signed, or not the signed, but the Oda Luffy, Rush Luffy from 05. I've been telling people to buy those for a while, and they're still like $20-25 a piece. And I don't see why this Nami should be $400 and that Luffy only $25. That's just a personal gripe, a personal opinion. But yeah, I don't see this card being, in my opinion, worth more than $100. I don't think it's worth that. Despite pull rates or anything. If you know anything about these pull rates, if I'm wrong about those, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to know if I am wrong about that. But if that is what I've been hearing is correct, that 1 to 2 a box, 1 to 2 a case, this is not worth $400. Not a single shot in hell. Like, that's just not worth it. I don't think this card, if I was trying to buy this card, I would not pay more than $100, and that's the high end. It's not a good looking card. It's not a good playable card, and it doesn't seem to be that rare. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some alt leaders. So Gecko Moria being obviously probably the most sought after and powerful out of this set. You could argue Yamato is second, but you can see that in the prices. Yamato is second. Moria is debuting at 170. It looks like someone did buy it at 200, which is, I mean, very, very high for an alt leader. One thing I want to talk about in this video is like where I think prices are going to settle, and I think a lot of these alt leaders are going to settle lower. Like Moria, Yamato, I think are going to be the big dogs. Perona might be up there a little bit as well, but I do think that the rest of them will be sub 100. So Moria, I expect this being like $100 alt leader at the max, maybe 120. But like once things like actually do calm down, I'd say 120 at the max for this leader. So I'd say hold off on this. Same with the Yamato, like listings, people are paying $200 for this. I don't see it being $200. I see this one also maxing out at 120. And then Perona, like I said, is a little less. People are paying like 160 for these, and I see this being like about 100. So in my opinion, I see this being kind of like last set. Like we had Sakazuki at the top, then we had Purple Luffy and Enel fighting for the second and third spot continuously. Sakazuki was like 130 for the longest. Purple Luffy and Enel floated anywhere from $90 to $120 a piece, and that's what I think these three leaders are going to do. Now, Reiju, I do think this deck has a lot of potential. I think it's very powerful if played right, and I do think that 150 is still too expensive for this. I do see this being more like an $80 leader. And then Uta, I see being not even close to what it is now. I see this also being like a $45, $50 leader, maybe 60, but it's just not a good leader. And same with Hody Jones. Like this for 65 isn't awful, but I do see this being cheaper than that, like maybe 40 bucks. And that's just my 2 cents, just because we're looking at playability. A lot of people don't like this Hody art, but I'm a fan of the big hat. I like the big hat energy. I don't like Uta. I don't like this artwork very much. And this leader kind of sucks. So I don't see it being expensive either. Reiju's art's good. Perona's art's good. Yamato's art's good. Moria's art's killer. And these are all 4 playable leaders. So like I said, these are going to be your top end. I think Reiju max 80 to 100 bucks. Perona floating anywhere from 100 to 120. Same with Yamato, and then same with Gecko. Like I see that being the top end on those. Now let's talk about our SPs for this set. So we actually have some good ones for once, like Buggy SP. This is sick. This artwork goes hard. This card's super playable. Like I don't see why people wouldn't like this card. Now for $150, no sir, but I could see this settling around like 80 bucks. I think that'd be a nice price for Buggy. Rebecca SP, I think people are still on the train of being scared of Rebecca. This only has the 1 sale, and I do think 150 is way too high for it, but I do know it should be more expensive than the alt in the last set. I do think it looks better. It has more color, more artwork going on there. However, I think people just have a fear of this card right now because of the Sakazuki bans, and people want this band and that band and stuff, but I could see this being like 80 bucks as well. Pretty good card. And then what is our other one? 10 drop Linlin. So I think this one's weird. People don't like the artwork on the alt art 10 drop, the 10 drop Linlin. That card's been like 20, 25 bucks for forever, which is ridiculous. This art's sick. It looks so cool. It's super fun and happy, and I think it fits Big Mom very well. It's not $130 well though. I do see this one getting about 60, 75 bucks, maybe. It's a really good card, but I think it's another one of those cards that people are scared will get hit one day. And then our others are Miss All Sunday, which I think is good artwork. It's really cool artwork, but this card's just not super playable right now. Like I know Purple Yellow Croc does get a little better in EB, but for now this card's just kind of whatever. I think the alt art also looks good. It kind of just looks like a repaint of it, to be honest, but yeah, 95 bucks, no shot, man. 50 bucks max. I want to say the same thing for Sugar. Sugar's just not too played right now. I know a couple decks player, but yeah, really the best home is Dofi, and Dofi's not that good of a deck right now. So 88 bucks, no shot. Not even a sale. Oh, there is 2 sales. 80 bucks, 89 bucks. Surprising, but sick artwork. I do think this would be more like a $50 SP though. 60 bucks maybe. And then our last one is our man Borsalino, and he's nowhere to be seen. I don't think people have bought it. I might have to go looking for him. Where is he at? let's do a little search for Borsalino. See if we can't find them. Here we go. SP. 5 listings from $99. Someone bought one for 99 cents somehow. Don't know how that happened. Probably got refunded. But I think this is my favorite one. This and that buggy, they both look super clean. I like this one. He's just casual, eating lunch. Like, I think it's hilarious. 99 bucks, no shot. I think 70 bucks max. Like, the alt is down to 15 bucks. I think people have Sakazuki fear right now. And that's not going to lend a hand to this SP. Like, even if it's rare, it's not going to be helpful for the price. Now, let's go ahead, make sure we're back on that first page again, because I do want to talk about some more of these alts, some of the secrets and stuff like that. So I think our high end will be Onami. People do like Onami a lot. Just Nami in general. I mean, if it's a Nami card, it's worth money, right? So Onami, I think, will always have a hefty price tag, but not $100. I do see this being more like 60, 70, and then dropping even lower than that if it doesn't perform, but then we know this card will perform. It's a good card. We have the Zoro alt art, which 96 bucks. No shot, man. Like, it's sick. It's cool artwork, but like, unfortunately, this card being playable, it is cool. It's a good card. You have to put it on the field and it has to stick. So if your opponent can't remove it in any way, then yes, it's a big threat. But if you're playing against a deck that has some form of removal, this card is not long for this world, and that's just what hinders it. So this secret rare, I don't see being more than 20 bucks, and the alt, I don't see being more than 50 bucks. Same for Sanji. I think Sanji, no more than 20 bucks. Alt, no more than 40 probably. This one's a little less playable, I think. Only a couple of decks play this, and blue's not the greatest right now. So those are my 2 cents on the secret rares. We will talk about the manga here in a minute as well. Perona alt art, super cool, super cute art. I do think 89's also ridiculous. I definitely see this one being more like 30 bucks, maybe. Yeah, not too great. Reiju, I do see this one holding more value just because waifu tax, and it's a great card for multiple decks. Red Purple Law loves this card, and that deck gets really good in EB. So I do see this one being more like a $50 alt because Reiju likes it. Red Purple Law likes it. I know some other decks can probably take advantage of this as well. Hody Jones, 60 bucks. I actually don't like that. I don't mind that price that much. This card's insanely powerful. I do see this being more like a $40 to $50 alt. Hiyori, on the other hand, I mean, it's a good card. I do see it being more like 30. Yeah. Same with Momo, like more like 40, 30. Not too high on those. I think they're great cards. Absalom, this does go in Moria, and Moria is a very strong deck. I feel like people, like I keep saying, people are just scared of black decks getting hit right now. And I feel like that fear is going to push people away from some of these alt arts and cards. So Absalom, as good of a card as it is, it really does only have that good home in Moria. But with that being said, I do see this being like a $25, $30 alt. Ichiji, this only has a home in Reiju, sadly, and I know some people will try to max that deck out because it won't be too bad. We'll talk about Judge in a second, but Ichiji, I say 25 bucks. Judge, 15 bucks, maybe 10. Like, this is going to be one of the stinkers of the set. And then I think we're done with alts for now. No, we got a couple that we missed. Like, they're just not up on the listings yet. Tashigi, 85 bucks. I think this is going to be more like 30 bucks, maybe. People are just scared of Sakazuki hits, man. Like, it goes really good in that deck. I want to try and find the other alts. They might just not have any sold listings, and they might just be down. Let's go all the way to the back. Yeah, here we go. Gecko Moria, people aren't buying these for $97. There's no sales yet. I do see this one being more expensive than some of the others. I could see this being like $50 to $60 one. Plus, it's tough. That goes hard. I think it'll add some value to it. Monkey D. Luffy, this is the Film Searcher. This is not a great card. Like, it only works with the film stuff, I'm pretty sure. Does it search Straw Hats as well? No, it only adds film. Like, that's another stinker of the set, man. That's like a $15. Shanks, I think this is a sleeper card, man. If we get a red-haired Shanks deck or like a 4 Emperor deck or whatever, something that this can really go in, 10k power or less is strong. Like, that's a lot of cards in the One Piece card game. There's only a select handful that are higher than that. So this is KO in a lot of stuff. And in red decks, you have that power reduction. Most of the time, you can KO anything with this. So that's really good. 55 is not the price for it, but I see this being like 20 bucks, maybe 15 bucks for a while, and then some kind of support's going to come out that's going to make this card busted. So keep an eye on that. Manga Zoro, no sales, lowest listings are 2,600. That's absolutely ridiculous, and I don't think people are going to pay that. As much of a fan favorite character Zoro is, I do see this being another $1,000 to $1,500 manga. Yeah, 25 is crazy, man. That's actually crazy. People are just trying to get on the hype train. They pulled it. They want to sell it. It's a store or something. I don't know. Looks like we missed another one, Shiraya. This card is pretty good. Law likes this card a lot too. I do see this only being like 20 bucks, 25 bucks max. And of course, all these prices are subject to change. These are all only my personal opinions as well. So I'd love to know what you think. If you have any other opinions, let me know down in the comments below. But getting into the rest of them, Gecko Moria for 23, like for pre-sale, that's not horrible. I mean, we've seen cards for pre-sale at super rares be higher than this before. This is one of the best cards to come out of this set, and $23.99 is not a horrible price. I wouldn't pay it. I do see this being 15 bucks after prices drop and product is open, and then maybe 10 bucks. But same with Hody. 14 is a really good price for this. I do see this being more like 10 bucks though. Perona, I see being more like 8 to 5. This really only has a home in Moria. Some Perona lists could play it, but I do think Moria is the home for this. And yeah, I see this being more like 8 to 5. Same with Hiyori, more like a $5. Reiju, like 5 bucks. Judge. Oh, did I talk about Judge? I think I did. Yeah, this is going to be a stinker. And then this Judge, I see being like 2 bucks, $1. Same with Shanks, $1 to $2. Shiraya, I do see being like 3, 4, 5 bucks. Same with Momo, 4 or 5 bucks. Raise Max for $7 is absurd. Like, these stores that are selling these are making money. Someone bought 12 of them for $1. That's actually good. But someone bought 4 of them for $9. That's really bad. I cannot believe that. I know that this is another Gordon, but man, it is not worth that. Wait till the prices drop, dude. That's an uncommon. That's an uncommon. Like, that is not worth that. Not $9. Holy shit. Anyway, moving on. Aramaki, I think this is a penny stock. I do believe this will be like a $1 card. I think this card's really, really strong for blue decks, and I would watch out for it. Couple rares to watch out for too. Kikunojo, this one's really good. I do see this being $1 or $2. Onami, of course, being $1 or $2. Tashigi being $1 or $2. Negative Hollow is pretty cool. The Dawn card, $3 isn't horrible, honestly. I don't see it going down. Actually, I could see this being more like $1 just because they started implementing the 2 Dawn thing a couple sets ago. So 2 Dawn and yeah, I could see this being more like $1. This Dawn card's tough though. Looks pretty good. As for other rares, I think you should watch out for Gravity Blade, Raging Tiger. I've been talking about this card. This card's insane. I think this card's really, really good for blue decks. Penny stock for sure. Same with Charlotte Pudding. This card's really, really good for blue decks. Reject, really, really good yellow card. Same with this yellow 0 cost event and Ryuma. These are all really good cards. I could see being $1 or $2. Arlong, probably not. Kami, probably not. Absalom, $1 or $2. Brook, $1 or $2. Penny stock. This card's really good. Yeah, not too much else, to be honest, for the rare department and stuff. And then we get down to the some of the uncommons and commons, and they really start to be like normal prices, you know, like 50 cents. I mean, they will go down further, but yeah, $9 for Raise Max got me bugging, man. That's actually crazy. Oh, shit. I guess we missed Aramaki Altart. This one's tough, too. I don't see it being more than 20 bucks though. And I really want to say that's about all I have to talk about in this market watch for 06. I don't really think that a lot of these cards have merit to be this pricey right now, but that's kind of how it is in the One Piece card game with pre-release prices. Like I said at the beginning of this video, definitely watch yourself on pre-release prices. When you go to these pre-releases and people try to get you for the pre-release prices, maybe just wait. Unless you really need them, unless you need them for an event that's happening very soon. And even then, maybe try and haggle with them a little bit, get them to come down on the price to where you think it'll land. If they don't want to do it, I don't know what to tell you, but you won't catch me out here paying $100 for a red purple Uta leader or $9 for a Raise Max. That's crazy, man. With all that being said, though, I want to know if you went to any pre-releases this past weekend. Let me know how it went down in the comments below. Did you pull anything crazy? If you did you move it? Did you keep it? Yeah, I want to know what you think about these prices. I mean, pre-release prices for One Piece cards are always pretty nasty, and I really just wanted to talk about it, give you my 2 cents and how I try to deal with it. And I'd love to hear what you think down in the comments below. Also, if you like this kind of content, why are you not subscribed yet? I have like 80% of y'all not subscribed to my channel. I really would appreciate it if you subscribe, like the video. It really helps me out a lot and shows this video to other people so more people can watch it. And without you all, I couldn't keep doing this and other people wouldn't be able to see it. So I want to thank you again. And yeah, if you haven't checked out Dueling Guard, go check out that link in the description. Use code GumGumTCG for a discount at checkout. Join my Discord if you haven't already. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.